Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the final Spooky Week episode.
Spooky.
It's almost over.
Yep,
Time to get that candy.
The month of spooks is coming to an end. Literally tomorrow, when this airs, tomorrow is Halloween. What are you going as, listeners? Let us know. Tweet us at FNL Podcast.
Tweet us your slutty costume.
Ew.
I'm Josh, and with me this week I've got Joe.
Hey, man.
And rounding us off on Spooky Month is Claire.
Hey.
What's up?
I'm really pumped to be here.
We're pumped to have you. It's your season 5 debut.
I know, it's been so long. Missed you guys.
Claire's dressed as a pumpkin.
Yeah.
It's a really good look.
It hasn't been long. You've been a busy bee because you didn't even get to hang out with us on the first and lasties.
Man, school season. It's a time of the year. I got to teach the children.
Do you have any awards you want to give out?
Dude, I haven't thought about last season in a minute.
It's been a while.
There are some shows. Some I liked, some I hated. Joe has been watching Doug so much. That's all I know.
Joe's still on that Doug.
So much Doug.
We just steer him back towards Frasier. Everything will be fine.
It's spooky month right now, so I'm just watching spook shows.
Like Doug.
There was a spooky Doug episode, so I did watch that. I'd never seen that before. It was interesting.
But we're we did this one time for one episode, but last Christmas season we would find the Christmas episodes of shows, and now we're trying
Christmas
to find
DVD or something like
of
that.
Frasier.
Yeah,
We
like a Frasier
absolutely own that, and when we didn't have any internet, we watched that in the summertime. It was great. But now we're trying to see like Halloween episodes of shows, so that's gonna be fun.
I've never done that. I've never seeked out it's a winter. It's our Christmas. Let's watch all Christmas episodes. Let's watch all Thanksgiving episodes.
I think it's great. I think you should try it out if you got like a lazy Saturday. I'm
gonna try it for Easter.
Okay. I mean,
I bet there's a
maybe like spring break. Like
so
go for that instead.
I'm gonna do it for spring break. There's a Arrested Development spring break episode for sure.
I'm telling you, spring break it up. But Easter might be hard.
Yeah, well, I want to start with a challenge.
Easter?
You got a couple months.
Cool. All right. Joe, before we break down our show today, how does this podcast work?
We take a TV show and watch only the first and only the last episode, make predictions in between, and yeah, it's fun. It's kind of nice if you had seen a show but never seen the first and last, and you get to hear about what happened in the pilot and what happened in the finale, and then you don't need to watch it yourself.
Like the explanation and then the caveats.
Yeah.
This podcast is a good idea for those.
In case I say we watched the first and the last, and they're just like, I'm out. I'm like, no, wait. It's fun though. I promise.
If someone is listening to this right now, they're rolling their eyes because they're listening to this already.
They're just like, they're too young.
Okay, there is that one guy. He's really nice though.
Hey,
I support him.
I mean, here's the deal though. When this comes out, I think Sabrina season 3 for Netflix will be out soon. After this,
what's that show called?
Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh, it's also.
I thought it was like spooky Sabrina.
Maybe it's
the
spookiest tales of Sabrina Spellman's sorceress.
I'm gonna do
scandals.
Have we said we're doing Sabrina yet?
No.
It's the chilling adventures of Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
It's the title of the podcast. They
Is
know
it like apostrophe, like chillin', like
chilling,
wordplay, like
chilling. Sorry, my
Chilean.
The Chilean adventures
of Sabrina.
Of Sabrina.
Okay, but so we're
doing.
Claire brought with her a show, and that show is Claire.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yes,
the Melissa Joan Hart version.
Yeah. I mean, who did not love this on some TGIF?
I mean, it was definitely a show I've seen shows of. It's kind of like Friends to me, where I've never sat down and watched the show, but I've seen so many of them that I get it. Yeah, she talks to a cat.
Yeah,
and she's got aunts.
I feel like this was like primetime watching.
Mm-hmm.
Like we'd want to watch this show. We'd get pumped to watch it if it was on.
Really?
Yeah.
And it was on TGIF.
Me and the siblings.
The Sabrina household.
Yeah. So Luke and Philip better be listening right now.
Wow.
Jack, he's probably not into that, but it's okay.
Whatever, Jack. But yeah. So what I was saying about that is don't worry. This will come up on somebody's like searchable content when they're like, "Oh, when does Sabrina come out?" And we're like, "Listen to our podcast instead. You don't need that Netflix crap." That being said, the new Sabrina show on Netflix is really great.
See, I haven't watched it yet. I hear it's spookier.
Oh, definitely spookier. We watched Riverdale up until like season 4, and then Lindsay decided that Riverdale was silly, so we stopped watching Riverdale. And
But you love Riverdale.
Ah, it was so good. I don't get it. I think they had a musical episode and it threw her off.
But you gave up a show.
Well, I mean, just watching with her. I'm gonna watch Riverdale. Come on.
Okay, for a second there, I thought you were like not watching.
I'm not allowed to.
That's what it sounded like. Okay, so Josh is able to watch Riverdale.
I can watch
clarified.
it. I just don't watch it with my girlfriend now.
Oh, that's fine.
But we watch Sabrina now, and it's coming out soon, so that's great. But that's not the one we're talking about. We're talking about Teenage Witch, starring Melissa Joan Hart.
We're talking 90s.
Very wholesome.
When did this solid thing come out?
The
97,
96.
right? 96.
1996.
To 2003.
That's
Yeah.
like...
It ended when I graduated from high school. Okay.
It actually started with a Sabrina the Teenage Witch TV movie on Showtime that starred Melissa Joan Hart.
It's like how Buffy started.
Yeah, and that kind of served as like the unofficial pilot.
Oh, it was Melissa Joan Hart in the movie though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I remember that my mom had a friend and was like, oh, she's bringing over a movie. And she's like, she's bringing over Sabrina. And I was so pumped. I'm like, oh, I really want to see this movie because I've been watching the TV show.
Oh, this is like after the show already?
Yeah. And I was like, ooh, because we didn't have Showtime. Like,
Uh-huh.
we're not about to have like fun stuff.
Yeah.
She brings over the movie and then I sit down and it's like Sabrina, the movie where it's like the maid is trying to get with a rich dude. It
Not
was
the same
not
at all?
the same. There was no witches involved, and I was pretty
For
disappointed.
the first 15 minutes, you're like, it's about to get spooky.
But I was so excited and so wrong.
There's like a scene with a black cat, and you're just like, is that Salem? Is he going to talk? And it's just a cat.
Yeah, that literally happened.
Oh, now I
Just
want to look at the
meow.
Sabrina movie.
Joe's gonna come home. I got a great movie to watch, and it's gonna be Sabrina.
So has Melissa Joan Hart been in anything else besides the show?
Yes, so she has definitely tried to do a lot of like Hallmark movies. I don't know if it's Hallmark or Lifetime, but I've definitely spotted her on some recently. I gotta be honest.
But like you guys know,
she peaked. She peaked at this show.
you guys know Clarissa Explains It All, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that and Sabrina and then Trash.
But
yeah.
Clarissa Explains It All was before this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because she was a littler lady.
She had a show called Melissa and Joey with Joey Lawrence.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That
Yep.
was bad. I mean, let's be honest. I didn't actually watch it, but because I don't really watch TV. But it looked
At the top
terrible.
of her Wikipedia, the last credit is God's Not Dead 2,
Oh,
2016.
shit. I know for Kevin Sorbo was in God's Not Dead 1.
God's Not Dead. There's a whole God's Not Dead universe.
I mean, there's
like,
a Left Behind universe. Why isn't there a God's
like
Not
I
Dead
understand
universe?
God's Not Dead is probably like a religious movie, but just
Is
like
it? I don't even understand.
just by the title of it, it sounds like a horror movie.
Yeah. God's not dead.
No, that it's a one of those like Christian movies that it's like one of the people and it's like, I don't believe in God, and then Kevin Sorbo's like, I'm your teacher in public school, but I'm gonna mentor you in the ways of Christ.
So the plot for
Ugh.
God's Not Dead 2 is
Oh no.
focuses on a high school teacher facing a court case
Oh,
that could end her
no.
career after having answered a student's question about Jesus.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
Well-
and there's the poster, and it's Melissa Joan Hart like facing away, like walking towards what looks like the Capitol, but not close enough
Is
to
there
the Capitol to
Jesus
get
hidden in the
sued.
scene? Look for Jesus. He's there.
I'm looking for him in the clouds. I don't see
He's
him.
being crucified on the tree to the
But
left. You
there's
see him?
there's a big crowd. Oh god.
Jesus is in the crowd.
There's a
Do
big
you see
crowd.
God?
There's two sides to them. One of them has signs that one of the signs says "Stand with God." The other side, there's a big sign that has the word God, but it's crossed out.
Do people make signs like that?
Oh yeah, people make both of those signs, and
Oh.
people
It's
make
like
both
no
of those
God.
signs unironically.
God's canceled.
God's canceled.
God's. I'm gonna make a movie called God's Not Canceled.
To be honest, a public school teacher is not going to get in trouble if they answer a student's question.
Question about Jesus?
I can answer.
But what if the
questions about
question was, what if
Depends
God
on
was...
well, I guess it does depend on how you answer it. Like if you answer like Jesus is the only God, everyone in this room who doesn't believe in Jesus is wrong. Like yeah, you're in trouble.
Whoa.
Like you can't say that.
For telling the truth?
Okay, let's be honest.
I have a question, though.
Okay,
What if God was one of
sing it,
us?
Joe.
Melissa Joan Hart actually wrote and sung that song.
Could you please just put the whole song in right now? Like just I don't know if we
No,
got copyright.
there's no way
Okay.
I'm allowed to do
Oh,
that.
Dang.
Sorry. You
I-
can't take a 3-minute
We
break.
sang that in Catholic church when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, we
I
got.
feel like
they got
religious people didn't
big-
like that song.
Yeah.
Oh.
Our like music director got in big trouble, but like us kids thought she was so dope. Like we're like, this is so cool.
It was a cool song back then. Like when it came out, you know, it's good stuff.
And then I went home and watched Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It was fantastic.
Yeah, speaking of that, let's stop talking about whether or not God's dead or not, and get into this before we get into this pilot. So I mean, quick rundown. We know Melissa Joan Hart's Sabrina.
Yep.
There's a cat named Salem.
Mm-hmm.
He talks.
Talking.
So is he? So in the show, Claire, do you know, is he just a talking cat? Because in the Chilean adventures of Sabrina, he's like a goblin or something like that, and he like took cat form.
I don't remember if he's a goblin, but I know
Yeah,
he's
I
like
thought-
part of the witchcraft world.
Yeah, I thought he was like a wizard or something that was trapped in a cat.
Yeah. So maybe he is a goblin.
Yeah, I don't know. And then she lives with her 2 aunts, Hilda and Zelda.
Zelda.
Yeah.
Oh.
Zelda's like the more like practical one. Hilda is like the crazy.
She's like the airhead. Like,
but I don't
weird
remember
one.
why she lives with her aunts.
I think both of her parents are dead.
I mean, I'd kind of assume that, but
So what happens in the first episode?
Do you think she knows she's a witch?
she like is told like that's got to be when she finds out she's a witch.
Oh, you think?
But there is the Showtime prequel.
I think they redid it. Like, I don't think the Showtime prequel ties in
Okay.
because it's only Melissa Joan Hart that is the same between the two.
It's got to be when she finds out she's a witch. I would bet a White Claw on it. And I don't have any today, but if I had a White Claw,
When there's claws, there's no laws
yeah.
Brought
right?
to you by White Claw.
of nature, because there's witches.
So you think she's told?
Yeah, it's
They're
like,
just like, you're old enough. It's time to tell you
this
you're
is
your
the
witch.
time.
Yeah, it's kind of like her.
Here's the book.
Her talk.
Yeah, it's her birds and bees. It's just like, by the
It's-
way, you're a witch.
God, I'd love if they ran with that.
Yeah, it'd be weird.
You are a woman now.
Man, I want to feel like she kind of falls upon it like Clark Kent in Smallville, where like she's just doing something one day and all of a sudden she's like, oh shit, I made like my mirror. I can't see myself in the mirror because I'm like invisible. And then like she's like, oh Hilda.
Oh, that is going to be fun to like see her be bad at doing
She's got to
magic.
learn her power. So I think she uses a witch power, doesn't know it, and then she is then told. Like, it's explained, but she kind of discovers it
Yeah.
in some sort of kooky sitcom-y way. That's how I think this episode's going to go.
Yeah.
You think it's a you think it's supposed to be like a symbolism for like puberty or something?
Yes, 100%.
Well, what
100%.
I feel like in Charmed and a lot of these and now I'm not like I don't know a lot about this, but I feel like if I remember Charmed, it was like they get to a certain age and then they get their power.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it could be tied in with puberty, but like I also think there's like
I think Blossom's going to come on and explain to her.
Blossom. You know what? If she's watching the Blossom episode, season 1, episode 1 of Blossom, to find out what it's like to be a woman, like mine would be blown.
How to become a woman.
I will watch the rest of Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
What if there's just a Blossom reference in this episode at all?
Done. I'm in.
All right.
I will continue.
Mayim Bialik just like shows up.
Spooky month will be really spooky because I'll be watching this show.
Man, we really stretched what spooky is for this month by just being like, God, there's witches in this. Nah, they're in space.
Yeah.
Space witches.
Hey, but everything's scary to somebody, right?
We've watched a lot of spooky shows, like not in spooky months, so that kind of made it hard.
That's right. It's just not that much out there. There's not thousands upon thousands of TV shows. Should we just get into it and see what Melissa Joan Hart's got to offer?
Get me into it.
All right.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
get
out.
Joe into it. We will see you after the pilot episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And we're back from the pilot episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. We did it. We're all witches now.
Yeah. I'm reading a tweet from Melissa Joan Hart that says, Kevin Owens is a lazy wrestler. Yeah, I said it.
That's great. That's fun.
Do a lot of the first and last fans follow your love for wrestling? Like, has anyone tweeted you that? Yeah, I didn't think so.
No.
Okay.
No. Well, we don't talk about wrestling that much. I've always had like this wish and thing that before every day what we like podcast, that we play one match of like a wrestling video game and like record it.
This is a dream. Like, this is legit.
This is something that I wish we did, but we didn't do. We don't do.
Maybe season 6, man. That would take so much time.
Well, I mean, how long?
One wrestling match?
Well, how long is a wrestling match? I hit your mic.
I don't know.
Sorry,
feels like it would take a long time.
I mean, it's probably not more than 20 minutes.
How do you have like a personal blanket right now?
Oh, I had it on the ground. Sorry, I had it on the ground by the chair because it was in the chair because Pete the cat, who's eating food loudly on the ground now, was sitting it on my chair today. But I threw it on the ground because the ground's wood and it's cold in my apartment. And then I put it on my lap so Pete would sit on my lap. But then he got off and started eating.
The last time I was here, like taping a pod, I was sweating in this room. So
yeah,
it's been a long time, guys.
This is not a very well temperature controlled building by any means. Our fire alarm went off the other day.
Yeah.
It was dope and awesome.
That works.
Why was that great?
It wasn't. It was terrible.
Okay.
Yeah, we had to shove Pete the cat into a cat carrier just in case we had, because like, you know, it's like there might be a real fire. We don't know if we have to get out, and we need to make sure he's in there if we have to like leave.
I didn't think about that. Yeah.
And man, that's when cat strength really shows through. Yeah.
I shouldn't laugh. That sounds terrible.
I did notice his tum just now. He is gaining a little weight, huh?
Yeah, he's a little fatter. Yeah, he's been eating good.
I don't know, man. Fire alarms are the worst. They put in a whole new fire alarm system in our school, which they use this tone that is so excruciatingly terrible at this. The decibel level is so high.
Hey,
that, like,
fire! Hey, fire!
No, it's like this. It's like they made a pitch that like a human ears can't handle, so you actually have to leave. So last night,
I hear voices.
no, but last night they went off for a half an hour during play practice, and then today I was like there, and it went off for 20 minutes, and I was trying to like move costumes, and I almost murdered a person.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't actually, but they shouldn't put that in a school. I get why they're trying to like get everybody out, but everybody just ignored it, including the men's basketball league that was trying to play in the gym last night.
I think everybody should not ignore it and leave the school, and then this blaring thing wouldn't be in your ears anymore.
Oh, it's terrible.
When I worked at the bank, I worked at a bank, and like a fire alarm would go off in the building that we were in downtown, and I'd be like, "Everyone out, get out." People would be like, "There's not a fire," and I go, "I don't care. I'm closing the bank." Like, it was great.
Yeah,
it was an automatic like a little break. You just like get out. Everyone get out.
I mean,
I'm not burning up for you.
During a school day, I would definitely leave the building, clearly, with the children and do all of the things that are right.
But when you only have a couple kids after school,
I mean, we had like 50
burn them
kids.
alive.
Like, I was a little bit, surprised that
Gotta rehearse this play.
Well, we do though.
All right, I got to write up for this.
Yeah, let's
first
hear
episode.
What are we doing?
We're
know what we're doing.
reviewing the
get
pilot
focused.
episode of Sabrina. On her 16th birthday, Sabrina Spellman is informed by her aunts, Hilda and Zelda, that she, along with everybody on her father's side of the family, is a witch. However, Sabrina doesn't believe that she has magical powers until she unintentionally turns the head cheerleader at school into a pineapple. Actually,
The spikiest of fruits.
So that is mostly correct, but she definitely believed she was a witch before that because she was practicing turning oranges into pineapples before that.
You should make
she
a
was shown
comment.
the
So
powers,
this was written by Fall Geek on IMDb. Thank you for letting us read this. Also, fix it. It's not quite accurate.
Yeah, get better.
Also, get better, Fall Geek. But
So the crisis is her turning the popular girl at school into a pineapple.
Libby is the popular girl's name.
And then they change her back, and she's like gonna go embarrass her at school. So she's trying to turn back time. So
But
she
that's
has to
not
go to
allowed.
she has to go to like the witch council led by Drell.
That is correct.
Is that his name? Drell?
You mean
Starring.
Yeah, Penn and or Teller. My heroes.
Yeah, Joe's favorite
Seen a lot
people.
of Penn and Teller.
I maybe it's just really dumb, but I just went, oh, Teller's the one that doesn't talk. That's funny.
Teller. Yeah, that's him. Yeah, so she goes before them and begs them to turn back time. They're like, nah. But then Aunt Zelda, is that the one? Or
It
Aunt
was
Hilda.
Hilda.
Goes to them to like essentially force them to like take up the case and turn back time.
But it sounds like they're like, you almost married him at the Parthenon. Like,
Yeah, they have, like, a
do you
history.
not do witches not die? Is that a thing? Does anyone know the rules?
I bet you could kill a witch.
No, but it sounds like they're like living forever.
I think. Well, I mean, you can live until someone kills you. That's
Okay, I don't really understand like
there's different ways.
not spiritual.
They're like immortal but not
Immortal.
invincible.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, unless they don't get cancer and die, but if you chop their head off, they're dead.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay.
that kind of.
You got to
thing.
stay safe.
Yeah,
Do you know Jennifer Love Hewitt was born in Waco? That's fun.
that sounds about right.
Is she in the show?
No, I was just on a little deep dive here for a second.
Okay. I'm glad you're back with us.
Love me some J Love.
I have a lot of problems with this episode, but a lot of things I really like about this episode.
Really?
You know how I get.
Well,
First off,
Let's go.
But so like what?
no, I'm
Oh, I was just gonna wrap up the plot. So she has to turn back time because she got embarrassed by the popular girl, and then Hilda
Hilda. We already did this.
Hilda uses her influence on Penn Jillette to have them turn back time, and they do it. And like, what's her name? Sabrina.
Zelda.
Sabrina, like, you know, gets the best of everybody at school and sets up a date with the popular guy and embarrasses the popular girl, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, she still won by like being a bully.
Yeah, by like having the upper hand on everybody and like spilling a drink on the popular girl.
But she knew the popular girl was going to throw it on her.
Sure.
And I felt like
She could have just used her powers to keep it still so it wouldn't spill on
it
anybody.
didn't work with physics that it hit her and then they all laughed at her. So I do agree with that. But I felt like she could have done way worse stuff to that girl,
Like turned into a pineapple,
Yeah.
for instance.
which she had already done. But okay, first off, let's talk about the fact that their first day of school, they're going to dissect a frog.
In their
Come
biology class.
on.
I love that. So obviously, you public school teacher is like, nah. What is this? What is this, a school for rich people? And I'm like, yeah, it's just TV school.
Also, like, you don't have any control over your students. You have no, that's ridiculous. Okay, and then the second day of school, you're having a pop quiz. The first day of school, all you do is learn names and you read a syllabus. That's all you do.
Maybe that's why. We need to cut the fat here and start learning these kids right away.
Right away,
Give 'em
they
the
walk
frogs.
in. No relationships. None of this culture responsive teaching. Like,
I don't need to
out
know.
the window.
I don't need to know this tool to my right to learn social studies.
Yeah, just give me this frog.
Yeah, no. Anyway, my other big issue with this was like the reason the parents weren't around. So she lives with her two aunts, Hilda and Zelda, and it turns out her dad is in another dimension because he's talking to her from her witch's book.
Her dad is mystical, a witch or wizard of some sort.
Yes.
And her mom is immortal.
But her mom,
Immortal.
Yeah.
her mom just pieced out and is like, she in the Peace Corps?
Well, they did say a thing though. Her dad explained it to her that like starting like now, so we don't know when her mom left, kind of thing, and they were divorced, but
yeah.
her mom left, and she's not allowed to see her mom for 2 years.
Because she'll turn into
She'll
wax?
turn her mom into like wax or something like that. So there's a good reason why she's not gonna have a mom for 2 years at least.
Yeah.
And then her dad, it sounded like he was like, "Oh, my dad's just like on a business trip." It's like that's kind of what she thought.
Yeah.
And yet he's in another dimension talking to her from a book.
Through a book.
She just wasn't as mad about that as I probably would have been.
They gave her this mystical book, and they said that this is a gift from your father. And at first I thought, like, oh, is her father the devil? Like,
Whoa, this is
Just giving her this book
TJF,
of
Joe.
spells.
I mean, he still might be the devil. We don't
Could
know.
be, yeah. Like he who they do not talk about. But no, he's just in the book. He's a dude named Edward.
It's just some bro named Ed.
Ed.
When they turned Libby into a pineapple, I loved that Hilda's solution was to murder her and
Chop her
just
up.
chop her up and eat her
Yeah.
as a pineapple.
Well, because
Like,
she's
she's
terrible.
a pineapple now.
So I'm into, as far as people in this show, Hilda's my favorite because she's just gonna go like, yeah, I'm a fucking witch and you're just a human, so I'm gonna chop you up. We'll just do whatever. We'll get rid of you at problem whichever way we want because we're witches.
Well, I did read something, and I don't know all the details, but later on in the college years, so I do know that Sabrina will go to college.
Well, we got 7 seasons and she's already 16.
You
so.
know, you got to figure it out. But both of the aunts left the show at some point.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
But the Hilda character got her own personal talk show, like with her name, like the whatever
Hilda?
her name is show. It
Oh,
wasn't called the Hilda
like
show.
Caroline
Hilda
Ray.
Spellman
Yeah.
show.
So they both left the show, and then that's why I don't know. I can't decide if they're gonna be. In the
Well, you
final
already
episode.
ruined one of my predictions for sure.
No, they'll be back.
No,
You
we'll
gotta
see.
be back.
We'll see what happens with my prediction, but that's fine.
Your prediction was Caroline Ray never leaves.
Yeah, Hilda and Zelda are the staples of the show.
I really love the theme song, and it immediately it started playing, and I was like, "Everybody, shush!"
I've already forgotten it. It's some sort of guitar riff.
All right, stop for copyright.
Okay, you guys know you liked it. It was so out of pitch.
It wasn't bad. Well, we rewatched. So we watched the intro to the second episode because we wanted to see at the very end of the intro when she's standing for the mirror changing clothes, her last outfit is different every time.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't take that much. That's probably like a day of shooting.
Yeah, just her just spitballing
Yeah.
catchphrases.
Yeah.
Because the title card is like her standing in front of a mirror and like it like magically changes to different outfits. And then in the first episode, she like changes into a witch outfit. In the last one, she's like, "Oh, this is totally not me."
Ha ha.
And then in like the second episode, she like changes to like a Valley Girl outfit, and she's like, "As if."
Alicia Silverstone is stupid. I
So,
wonder if Clueless was
yeah.
big in 1996. That might have been right around when it came out.
Right around, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like that. I like any little change like that. It's like a fun thing. It gets, because like, I always hit skip intro on Netflix.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
But if it like isn't, if it's a show that does that, even like dumb thing like that, I would watch the intro every time.
Worth it.
I wonder what she's going to be wearing this week.
Get to hear the theme song.
And I wonder if it maybe like it's a clue to what the show's going to be like.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
Interesting.
so disappointed if in the later seasons they totally cut. They have a different song. They don't change clothes. Like it's just like them hanging out like a sitcom.
Mhm.
I'm gonna be mad.
Couple other things that people we met, now that Jimmy's not here to keep us on track, is Harvey was a boy in school.
Yep.
Popular
Obviously,
boy.
like popular boy love interest of Sabrina.
Mhm.
And then there was Sabrina's friend. Did we ever catch her name?
No.
I have no idea.
But she's like a nerdy girl that had just started at that school last year and lives in a house with a pig mailbox. So I know a lot about her. I don't know her name. She also has bad jokes.
Was her name Jenny? Her name was Jenny.
Yeah, Jenny.
I looked her up. I mean, I'm on IMDb, so I figured
Okay, I
it out.
trust her.
Her name was Jenny. And in parentheses, I love it. It's Jennifer, Jenny Kelly. And it's like, yeah, thanks for letting me know that Jenny is short for Jennifer. Thanks, IMDb. Couldn't have figured that out.
Do you think Penn and Teller did a lot of these episodes?
I think so. It sounds about right.
Is that what they're into? You watch a lot of Penn and Teller, so you would know.
Well, I mean, it would take like 30 seconds for them to just like film something, right? It looked like Penn had a lot of fun, like with his little like mole saying, "Stop looking at my mole."
Would you watch this show just to see Penn and Teller?
If they're like doing tricks, are they doing tricks?
There were tricks. She pulled a
They're-
rabbit out of a hat.
They're literally witches, Joe.
The rabbit was second episode.
Oh, darn.
Or was it the end of the first one?
That was the end of the first one.
I don't remember anymore.
Okay, you weren't really paying attention.
Uh-oh. Joe's got
fine.
the theme song in
It's
his
a
head.
good song.
I have like a weird comment.
Go.
So the answer is Zelda and Hilda. I'm gonna get these names straight.
Zelda's the one you thought looked hot.
That's what I'm saying. Is like,
Oh.
That was his weird comment. I knew where he was going immediately.
like my memory of this is that there's two aunts. One's a younger one, and then one's like an old one. Like she has like an old aunt, but like the actress who plays Zelda is Beth Broderick, and she's like 37 at the time of this show and is like gorgeous.
No, but she does look like age. Like they definitely, but they put her in younger people clothes.
I think the thing is that she kind of speaks like a Frasier character,
oh.
and it makes her seem kind of old-fashioned. So I think as a kid, when I'm watching this as like a 9 or 10-year-old, I'm just like, that lady's old. She's like one of the Golden Girls.
I mean, yeah, when you're 9, you're like, what are these old people doing to Sabrina?
Well, and there's such like a difference between the two aunts. You've got the zany, wacky Hilda, and then you've got the serious, like, focused Zelda.
Yeah.
That, again, to a child, you're like, she's old. She's making her follow the rules.
Yeah. I think in my head, I just, like, made her old. But then, like, as an adult, I'm just like...
She's hot.
Well, A, she's hot. But, like, B, like, she's, like, much younger than I thought.
Okay. You want to know who's not hot in this show?
Who?
Salem. What is wrong with that
boy,
cat?
Salem.
I have no problem with this cat.
Oh.
I love this. I love the creepy cat doll thing that he uses when he's like, "Hey, I'm a talking cat," and it's like, "Oh, that's terrifying."
It's very Pet Cemetery. Like it's like an undead cat.
Oh. How is it done in the new show? Is it very CGI?
I think it looks
realistic?
great. I think it looks great. It's definitely not a puppet.
I kind of like that it's a puppet, but it's just now you would have a much more capable puppet.
I think it's just a real cat.
It is not a real cat.
No, in the newer version.
Does the cat not like actually move its mouth?
I'm trying to figure out if he like talks. I don't think he talks. Like he doesn't say like, "Hey, what up, Sabrina?" Like I don't think he does that.
No, I'm not.
I
watching
think he
that
like
show.
meows and she like knows what he's saying.
Oh.
I think that's how they do it.
Oh, there's like telepathy.
Yeah, I mean they're witches, so
They just
right?
speak cat.
What would be like if you were a witch? What would be like a power you'd want?
To fly. To fly. Can witches fly?
Yeah,
You got
they have
broom.
brooms.
They broom around.
No, I don't want to use an object to fly unless it's like armbands and it just like shoots me up.
Yeah, I understand that.
I don't ride anything.
I want to ride something. You feel safe.
I understand that turning back time is taboo, but I would like to just pause time. If I could just hit pause and go take a nap or whatever I want to do.
All you want to do is take a nap.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what's funny is like I said this to one of my coworkers maybe the other day, and I was like, "Doesn't sleeping suck? Sleeping's dumb. Why don't we ever? Why can't we just not sleep?"
Yeah. So that's what I would do is I'd pause time, sleep, and then continue time. And I could just continue living my life.
Could pause time when you're sleeping, that'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Would you die like way earlier than everybody else though? Like
because you've lived so much longer.
Well, because you would have lived the time. You know, you pause time.
Yeah,
you would be living.
Lived like a third longer.
Yeah.
So by the time you're 20, you're like a 30-year-old.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you would just like stay up all night while everyone else is sleeping?
Yeah.
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 No.
Yeah. Definitely. I'd love that.
I like do shit too. It'd be great.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we need to work on this power then.
You'd get a lot. Yeah. Eventually, you'd get a lot done because you'd just be like, "Well, I'm still awake."
You probably have
Yeah.
a lot of like social emotional issues.
No, I'd be fucking jacked. No, because I would do my.
Joe would be jacked.
Okay.
You would work it out to do alone
Dude,
stuff.
I would freeze time and go to the gym by myself.
Yeah,
like
that'd be amazing.
Oh, personal gym
Get a
moment?
24-hour gym membership and then go to the gym.
and
like-
and freeze it. Because there's one thing that sometimes rushes me out of the gym, maybe a little too fast. Because I'm like, there's shit going on. I need to go do it. So I'm only gonna do 3 reps instead of 4.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know,
Take as much time as you want at the gym because otherwise you would have been sleeping.
Okay.
Go have a 4th meal.
Ugh.
Take your like Rosetta Stone for French, and then play some video games, and then hit the gym before you're supposed to wake up anyway too. Like do 2-a-days at the gym.
you could pause time and learn French, and then unpause time, and all of a sudden you'd be like, "Hey, what up? French." And then they'd be like, "Wait a minute, you know French?" And you're like, "Yeah, and I know Japanese too." And they're like, "No, you don't." And you're like, "Pause time." And then you like go learn it, and you're like, Morimoto.
You just learn how to laugh in every language.
Oh.
It's mostly the same though.
It's just slightly racist versions of how you feel like they laugh in that country. Ole, 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 ole.
Oh, I feel like I am a terrible person right now because both of yours were involving like personal things. Like I would just pause time for myself or like whatever. Well, did
Yeah,
you
take a
say
nap.
yours? I
That's
forget what you
exactly
said.
what we were talking about.
Yeah, but I'm saying like I would want to do something where I can manipulate other people, like, or I could like hear your thoughts,
like you're
or
gonna
I'd
like
want to.
you're gonna
move
pause time
things.
and like eat a piece of my cake and then unpause time.
But,
That's
like,
what you're doing.
No, I wouldn't pause. I don't think I've even thought about pausing time. I don't think it would pause time.
Oh, you're just thinking about the time that you would do
Like what
when
I
you're
would
not
do.
sleeping.
Yeah, no. I'm thinking about my magical power.
Oh.
I'm not like
What are you
Joe,
gonna
I
do
don't
to Joe
need
when
to
he's
nap.
sleeping?
I don't need to nap as much as you, okay?
You need a nap.
All the time. But no, I would want to like have powers that are kind of more like the ones you see in the show. And maybe that's why as a kid I thought this was really cool.
I mean, her powers are literally like, I'm gonna think about it and point at you, and something's gonna happen.
Yeah. Boom. Love it. Want it. I should be a witch.
I
Just
mean,
saying.
are you or aren't you?
No.
I've never seen it rain on you before.
Dude.
Ooh.
What is that?
Which
what
is
happens?
melt.
Oh,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
melting.
Yeah.
Is
kinda
that
works.
actually a thing?
I mean, in the Wizard of Oz, it is.
Okay.
So
I thought you were saying like it doesn't rain on witches or something.
Well, it doesn't, because if it does, they melt, right? I always say that, like when people are like, "Oh, it's raining outside," and I'm like, "No, I'm not a witch. I'll be fine."
Yeah, I get that now.
Should we get on to predictions?
Yes.
Before we do that, who's everyone's favorite character in the show right now?
Salem.
I knew you were going to say that.
I think Hilda.
Fucking cat.
Hilda's my favorite because she wanted to murder that Libby with a while she was a pineapple, and I was like, badass.
Dude, I connect with Sabrina.
On
Sabrina's
an
my
emotional
girl.
level.
Sabrina's my girl.
All right. Well, speaking of your girl, what do you got for predictions?
Okay, so I need some easy points. I haven't been here in a while. There's gonna be a wedding.
Okay. I
Mm.
hope
Going for
that's.
it.
I'm glad you said that's the
A
layup.
wedding.
There's gonna be a wedding. I want a point. Salem's gonna become human.
Yeah, do we all have that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Well, I mean, I said Salem's not a cat anymore.
Okay, yeah, I said Salem turns into a human.
So
You
mine's
could
a
get-
little. If you could turn into a frog, and I'd still get it.
I think there's gonna be pineapples.
Okay,
It's like a
that's
throwback.
the callback. All
You know,
right.
I need a little throwback moment. And Mom is gonna be in this episode, and she's not gonna be wax.
Oh.
Like she never got turned into wax.
Human mom.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I just think that's their easy way of not having another character in the show
Yeah.
for a while.
Yeah.
and then they're like, oh, if it lasts over 2 years, then we can
We'll
maybe
bring
give
it
her a
in,
mom.
Yeah, give her a mortal mom.
All right. Well, I just need points. So
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
So yeah, I had Salem turns into a human. I want to step above just the wedding, and I said that Zelda is officiating Sabrina's wedding. She's
I would-
because you like Zelda that much.
Well,
know.
Zelda would officiate it before Hilda would.
yeah,
That's too
of
much
course.
That's too much responsibility for Hilda.
Yeah, Hilda gets like a reading or something.
No.
She reads that Corinthians passage about love.
Yeah, she just reads First Corinthians.
They
at
just
a
show
witch
they
wedding.
show like a preview of the like God Isn't Dead 2.
They watched the whole movie
God
starring
is
Melissa
not
Joan Hart.
I have that there's an Archie reference. Some
Oh,
sort
fun.
of reference to Archie and or Riverdale. And then I have that in lieu of just a pineapple, if somebody gets turned into a pineapple.
Why are we like so on the same path right now?
You are getting
We're
married.
either all gonna get points
Spooky.
or not. Oh yeah, it is spooky month.
Well, here's me.
Spooky.
Here's me and my predictions. Number one, Salem is no longer a cat.
Okay.
So hopefully he turns into something else and not a human, and I'm the
So-
only one that gets a
How
point.
many points
Even
behind
larger
are you
cat.
this season?
I
are
don't,
you ahead?
I don't know what the standings are currently this season.
You have an Excel spreadsheet. They're probably
Yeah, but I
calculates.
gotta scroll down to see the totals, and I try not to scroll down. I'd like for it to be a surprise.
oh,
I'm pretty confident I'm winning though because I've been doing real well.
I'm impressed with you.
I think Libby knows Sabrina's a witch and they are friends.
Oh,
That makes sense.
Yeah, so I think that's a two-parter.
because
Okay.
Libby might like that she's a witch. She'll be like, pull that person's pants
Right.
down.
This is the one that I
Let me
think
see their genitals.
Okay. Wow.
turn him into a Ken doll. This is the one where you were like the aunts are like they left and maybe came back or whatever. So this might hurt. Mine is Sabrina's moving out of her aunt's house.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that's the thing. I don't think it's a wedding. Well, maybe it is a wedding, but then she's got to be moving out too, probably, right?
Sure.
But I think that's like her thing. She's like moving on and moving
Okay.
away from the house. And then the fourth one is, I think Zelda casts a spell to fix a common issue.
Oh, okay. Like
maybe there's a wedding and like her dress is torn, and she just kind of does that. It's not like a freezing time. It's like a
like a
little
bloop,
thing.
a point, and
like
shoot.
they just like fix a regular thing.
I feel
yeah,
like
someone
that's what
spilled
they
a
do.
drink and they just
Yeah,
like,
but I said Zelda does it.
Okay.
I'm very specifically who. I didn't say they. Just somebody does it.
I feel like that's like a quarter point.
Let's see what she fixes
Okay.
first. I've already pre-watched this last episode. No, I'm just kidding. I've already done it. Well, let's dive into the finale.
I can't wait for the theme song.
Well, it's gonna blow your socks off. Well, it is called Soul Mates. That's not a good. That
Woo,
seems.
there's gonna be a wedding.
It sounds like a wedding to me. So we'll see you after that episode. And we're back. We are finished with Sabrina. She is now a college-aged witch, at the very least, right?
yeah, she's no longer a teenage witch.
She's probably
For
at
sure.
least 21.
Sabrina, the 21-year-old witch.
Maybe that's why they changed the opening credit scene. They just
That-
wanted to call it Sabrina.
Man, that opening credit scene was terrible. Like you knew the song.
I did. I was surprised because it did come back to me, but it was really bad.
And just like they were just
Her
trying to
movements, like she looked like.
Well, there was
she-
just so many of her. And wait, so many. So it must have been like a gajillion green screen things. And it's like 2003. And it's just like computers can't be trusted that much. This was no Avengers Endgame CG by any means.
Yeah.
It means good CG. Or at
That
least.
means good.
It was just really terrible. And like she clearly has some issues with movement. Like she doesn't look very fluid and she's supposed to be like dancing and changing clothes. But like when she pauses, it's like, I don't know. She looks broken.
She did like a weird kick in the beginning, like in the thing, and she like changed clothes. Why is why is it just a revolve around her changing clothes at various locations?
Maybe that was our way to tie it into the original.
Man, maybe.
I don't know.
I guess.
The original was way better.
So the write up for this one is a shorty, and not really that of a goodie.
Never good for the last episode.
On the day of her wedding, Sabrina is still trying to find whether her groom or Harvey is her real soulmate.
Wow, they really like led with the.
And that's not even really that's not really accurate, I would say. But she does wake up. She has cold feet, literally. They're in blocks of ice.
Blocks of ice, yeah.
And then she's just contemplating whether or not that this is the right decision for her, if she should do this.
But she didn't have any reasonings behind it. There wasn't anything else.
She was just like, I don't know if this is right for me. And it's like, man, you really should have gotten over this a while before this day, especially.
Also, their wedding is apparently taking place at like 10 a.m. or something ridiculously early.
It seemed early because she had gotten up from like sleeping the night before, and they're like, you're already running late. And it's like, to the wedding that's supposed to be happening in like 30 minutes. It's like, wait, what? That's too early for a wedding. So yeah, she was not really like saying, oh man, do I love Aaron is the guy she's going to marry.
Mm-hmm.
Or do I love Harvey? It's like, Harvey's just not around, really.
So the guy Aaron was apparently in The Bold and the Beautiful for a really long time.
Okay, I could see him being in a soap.
I recognized him from a Dawson's Creek episode or several.
I don't want to wait.
But apparently he's also an Arrow, which I feel like Jimmy would be able to identify.
Oh, weird. I've seen a lot of Arrow, and I don't recognize him. But I haven't seen Jimmy level Arrow.
He also was in both of the 50 Shades of Grey's movie, but like for a second I was like, is he the guy in that? He's not the guy.
He's
not
just
that
some
guy.
other smut man.
I've never seen that movie, so I don't know what he is, but
He's a smutman.
He's a smutman.
anyway, but that guy Aaron seemed pretty benign. He looked like
Benign. That's a good way to describe a human.
I know.
Benign. 9.5.
But he didn't look like a college age kid. He didn't look like a teenage kid. He looked like
older than me.
a
And I'm
creepy
old.
Ken doll, like not like something that a college girl would want to like get married to. I don't know.
He kind of looks like if you made a Ken doll a real man. That's kind of what that guy looked like.
Maybe that's what they were going for.
I wonder
I'm
if
sure he's a great person.
I wonder what his genitals are like.
Just smooth.
So gross. But like here she is. She's like, I'm just not sure if this is the one. And then this guy comes down and he's like, you have doubt. And then she has to like
Not
match
just
their
any guy.
magic stones.
It was Doubt himself.
Doubt himself.
I tried to figure out who that guy was because he's definitely in other stuff, but
I know I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again, especially during this season, because it's just happening. But when Doubt was in, and I was like, oh, this whole universe has, like, a fun, mystical, like background. Like, Doubt is a person, you know, and, like, all this crap. And I went, Supernatural, last season's on. I'm so excited.
Great.
so you're just like living the dream?
Just
or?
reminiscing about a different show.
During this show, it made me think of a different show, because that show's just clearly better.
Okay, well, we'll do that when it's done.
Oh, I can't wait.
Next
can't
spooky month.
wait.
You don't get to be there.
Only episode, I think by this time there's only been like 3 or 4 episodes, and they're like 20 some plus season episodes.
I don't know. But I don't like the message of this episode.
Wait, what's the message? Don't. The message was like, do what's right for you,
Yeah,
or
follow
like
your heart.
follow your heart.
She wasn't following her heart. Someone else told her that there was something wrong with their relationship because their stones didn't fit
Something was
together.
already wrong in her heart about that. She was questioning it before she got up.
She woke up with cold feet.
Literal.
It's a cartoon cold feet moment. Although Salem did get his tongue stuck to it because he licked it, and that was kind of funny.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess you like when Doubt came in, he was like, "Are you sure?" That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he was like, but he's Doubt, so he's like, if you want to be sure, here's a way to be sure. But it didn't. It wasn't. The pieces didn't fit.
Right.
I mean, I wasn't. I'm not mad about the story. I kind of
And
like it because I bet a lot of people. Here's the deal, Claire. A lot of people in this world
Want Harvey to be the guy.
No, I was gonna get way realer.
Oh, get real.
I was gonna
I'm
say
ready.
like a lot of people in this world in Sabrina's shoes would have just gotten married that day if they were like, I don't know if this is the right idea. They would have just gotten married and then probably been unhappy for years until they either died or
she cast a spell to
had
turn
a
back
kid
time.
had a kid to save the marriage. You know, that kind of. But she was like, you know what, this isn't right for me. In the end, she was like, this is not right, and I'm not getting married.
I get it.
Was
but
it horrible timing? Yes, she should have known before that.
You need to have that conversation prior to all of that shit.
Well, yeah, and no, I don't. That's
Doubt
obvious.
should have come like a week ago.
They've already paid catering. Like,
Yeah.
I
Do
did
they-
think this is a very expensive mistake.
Yeah, like that's $30,000 to $40,000 right there, gone.
like at that point, you still probably have the reception, right? Because it's still all set up. And you're just gonna go.
Yeah, people
like,
go
have
eat.
dinner.
Yeah, people are gonna
Well,
go
maybe
eat.
everyone else did, but she drove off on Harvey's motorcycle.
Oh yeah. Everyone else though.
They
they're
got
still gonna have
shrimp.
dinner.
We know they got shrimp.
Yeah.
But
The DJ still paid for, so he's like probably gonna skip the first dance, but still gonna like entertain.
Maybe they did it the right way and they hired DJ iPod. And they didn't lose that much money.
I don't know, man. They were having like a 10 a.m. wedding, so like maybe it's on a Sunday. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
maybe
just
it's a
Sunday
brunch.
wedding.
Yeah.
That would really mess up that church's Sunday schedule, though. If they're like, "Sorry, guys, closed."
Well,
We
I mean,
got a
if
witch
it was,
wedding.
if it was a Catholic church, a lot of people just get married during Mass.
No, they
Oh.
don't.
Some people get married. I've been.
You have your own mass.
Well, it's still Mass.
You have your own separate mass
Oh God,
for
you
the Catholic mass,
your
and then you
own
have
one?
to go to Sunday too. So if you go to a Saturday, depending on what time it is, you still have to go to the Sunday.
what if you're?
They do
what if
different
you're too busy
readings.
banging on your honeymoon?
Well, then you don't care about God.
Yeah. You leave space for God.
Anyway,
God's not dead, too, Josh.
we just like 30% of the world is like done with this pod.
It's fine.
Okay.
I'm just happy that 70% of the world's listening.
Yeah,
to
they're
the
just like
pod
still into it.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Another supernatural reference. I'm still in.
I got you every week until that show's over.
Dude, but she had 2 famous roommates.
Who were those people? What do you mean?
Okay, so the
I don't
one,
know
what they're
the-
famous.
They're famous
Yeah,
to who? Because
they're-
I don't know who they were at all.
Okay,
Joe,
the
who were
one
they?
girl was from Clueless, the red hair girl. I need to look up her name.
Don't even know her name.
I don't know anyone's name.
Talking
Like,
about Brittany Murphy. That's not Brittany Murphy.
no, she's in Clueless.
Okay.
The other girl is Punky Brewster.
Punky Brewster.
All right, you know who's famous? somebody we go, that person's from Clueless. I don't know her name.
But
or Tom Cruise.
Okay, her name is Elisa
Silverstone?
Donovan.
Oh.
Okay.
She is definitely like, I've seen her. Like, I saw her face and immediately was like, Clueless.
Okay, so she's got two.
She's Amber and Clueless.
I recognized the dude at Target the other day. It doesn't mean he's famous.
You know who's famous from Clueless is Alicia Silverstone, Brittany Murphy, Paul Rudd. Like,
Yeah.
so many other people.
She plays Amber. Like,
What's the black girl's name?
yeah, apparently she's not famous.
Ooh. Something. I was gonna say something Stone, but I think I'm thinking Alicia Silverstone. I'm gonna come up with her name without Google by the end of this pod.
Okay, we'll come back to
Challenge.
that.
I bet.
Stacy Dash.
It-
Boom.
Boom.
famous.
Famous. More famous than.
We don't even remember her name. You said it.
Said it
Lisa
5 seconds
Donovan.
ago.
Her name was Amber in the show.
Her
Anyway,
name was Amber.
She was literally the redheaded stepchild of Clueless.
I don't know. There was a stepchild of
It
that.
was
but I don't
Paul
think
Rudd,
it was.
right? Did I
yeah,
get that
that's
wrong?
Paul Rudd.
Okay.
Or no, maybe not Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd's in everything.
I don't know.
He's America's sweetheart.
Yeah.
So she's got two roommates. Yeah?
Yeah, but they're famous.
And they're famous.
They're famous.
But we think that they don't know that she's a witch.
It seems like nobody knows that she's a witch.
Yeah.
Except for Harvey, because Harvey made
totally
a comment about immortals.
Well, also her cousin Amanda, who was
That was weird.
the random girl
Who is a witch?
She's
Do you
a
think
witch.
they were trying to do a thing?
spin-off?
Yeah, a thing with Amanda where like maybe she's gonna be the new teenage witch.
Yeah. Yes, I do.
But that
'Cause
girl sucked. So
They just introduced this like this teen girl as like Sabrina's witch cousin. And
she was in 10 episodes of the show.
she's kind
The
of like
last
like
10?
Sabrina but a little snarkier. And it
Yeah.
seemed like that's what they were trying to do, is trying to build that into a
Like,
spin-off.
do people like her because she could have her own show?
Yeah.
She's young and a witch.
But Hilda showed back up in town with the mom.
Yeah,
And
the
then
mom
the
is in
dad
it.
showed up.
So yeah, let's start that way. The dad showed up. The dad was definitely not the same dude from the book from
Yeah.
the first episode.
Uh-huh.
Completely different dude. Mom shows up, and who's the mom, Claire?
Allie Mills. I googled her name. She's the mom from
Famous.
Wonder Years.
Famous.
She's famous. But we saw Wonder Years.
Yeah.
No, I know. I was like, I mean, right away, I was like, that is the girl from the mom from Wonder
You know,
Years.
when you just need a mom, that's who you call up. Allie Mills.
I would. She could be my mom. Trade
Okay.
up.
Wow. We don't even know her.
But she's famous, and that's what counts.
Josh's mom.
She's famous.
I think you're great.
My mom doesn't even know I do a podcast. Come on. And then so yeah, her mom's there, and then Hilda shows up and brings her a llama. Brings
Yeah.
Sabrina a llama as a gift,
Mhm.
which is funny because Hilda's great.
Yeah.
Because she goes, "Oh, you don't already have one, do you?" Like
It's
everyone
funny.
has llamas.
Not a terrible gift.
And then she brings a candle, which
Uh-huh.
is representative of Zelda.
Yeah.
She's like turned Zelda into a candle for. She like offhandedly mentioned why, but I can't remember.
It was like the alternate universe. Like the council said you had to one of you guys had to give it up, and she said she
Was it
gave
like
up
to be
Zelda.
able to bring her mom?
Yeah.
One of them couldn't
Because-
be like in real form.
They brought back the wax thing, even though originally they were like, this is only for 2 years, and then she'll turn into wax. But because her mom could come and not turn into wax.
Yeah, they definitely specifically said that, and I was like, in the first episode, well, you're not supposed to remember 7 years ago. You're not, you're not supposed to have watched the first episode.
Just
Right,
wave
before
the
this one.
wand over that first year.
Yeah. So all those people were there. Yeah, and it was just a wedding. It was a wedding, sort of.
Yeah, they almost got to the end of the wedding, and then
They were very close.
What'd you guys think of the bridesmaids' dresses?
I mean, what they were fine. I thought they were all trying to be like the person from Frozen. They're all trying to be Elsa.
Very before that happened. I didn't hate the look.
you
I
didn't
thought-
hate the look.
I didn't hate it. I mean, not gonna be something I'm looking for.
Like
Right. Well,
full
right away, I
sleeves.
thought that Amanda, the cousin, was just wearing a dress.
Yeah, I thought that was just her witch
Like
dress.
that was just, yeah, I did too. I
Yeah.
literally did. I was like, oh, that's just her witch dress.
Yeah.
And then there two other ladies had the same dress. And I go, oh, that's the bridesmaid's dress.
Yeah,
because I also thought that it was bright and early in the morning, and so when she showed up in like Sabrina's room, that she wasn't already gonna be wearing
Yeah.
a bridesmaid's dress for the wedding in like 5 hours. You know?
That was weird. They needed to like do the timing differently on this.
They got to take pictures before.
No, they didn't. They didn't. They skipped all the things. Yeah. I don't know. It made me feel like I don't want to watch any more of this show. Maybe I only want to watch like Sabrina the Teenage Witch when she's in high school.
We didn't really talk about like, did we like the first episode? Did you guys like it? I mean, you clearly liked the show previously, right?
Yeah, I feel like I have a lot of nostalgia with it, and I also like the dumb little like witch tricks, and
Yeah.
I think it's funny and cute.
I feel like something was weird about the comic timing, like especially in the first episode, but also in the last, where like there'd be weird stuff where they would tell it like it's a live studio audience show, so there's like laughter.
Is it a live studio audience?
It
or is
sounded
it just a
laugh
laugh
track.
track?
There's, I mean, it's laugh track.
So the reason I asked that too is because I noted specifically in the last one, there's a lot more laugh track in the last episode than there was in the first episode, and I actually enjoyed that about the first episode. I don't like it when a thing tells me, like, watch Big Bang Theory without a laugh track. It's probably the most awkward show in the entire world.
Because, well, I was gonna say in the first episode there's some laugh track, but there's a lot of jokes that just there is no laugh track.
Yeah, and I liked it.
I thought that was weird that like, because like if you're already cueing me when the jokes are, and then someone says something that's ridiculous and there's no laugh, I'm like, was that a joke or was that serious?
I think I just hate laugh tracks so much that when I knew they wanted it to be a laugh, and it wasn't a laugh track, I was like, I'm already into it.
I don't know, but there is some research about laugh tracks and how they make people feel good. Like it's like something about being communal. Like a lot of TV shows are trying to mimic like the studio, like a live theater performance where you be with a group of people watching a show. So that's why laugh tracks are a thing. They're there to like create this like you're watching this as a group and you have this communal experience. And
it feels easier to laugh when other people are laughing.
Yeah. So I don't know. But I can also see like why you hate them. I think that because of British comedy and like we're now kind of going against laugh tracks.
Yeah.
But
So
there's some interesting.
You go ahead.
I'm betting if there was a show that I can't really place one in my mind, but I bet there's a show that does laugh tracks, but they also just do it like tastefully and well. But like most like current day to like probably past 10-year sitcoms that use laugh tracks like just abuse it, and like they like say something that's not that funny and then laugh track it, and then like the comedic timing is off due to laugh tracks. Like they pause for laugh track, then say another thing. Pause for laugh track.
Yeah, there's very much a rhythm to it.
And like go like that, and it's just not good. So I think in the rhythm of how people should talk in shows or in real life or anything, like laugh tracks don't vibe with me.
That's kind of what I was going to talk about was like so in that first one the rhythm was weird because sometimes there would be no laugh track. And then in this last one I felt like they were off of the rhythm of the laugh track cuz it felt like a lot of times they were trying to make like fast jokes. There's a lot of like fast talking and like jokes that kind of just go by, and so there's no time for a laugh track. But like if you're gonna have a laugh track, you kind of have to have that rhythm of like joke, laugh. But it felt like they were trying to like squeeze in like Gilmore Girls type delivery into a show with a laugh track, and it just didn't really jive. You guys didn't feel that? I felt like I didn't know.
Well, I mean, I
when
took
jokes were.
I took umbrage to like the laugh track in general. So I mean, I think I maybe like I felt the weirdness that you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I felt it in just like my hatred of there's a laugh track.
But
that's all encompassing in like my like dislike of them.
The one I specifically remember is when she was like talking about doubt, and she's like, "I have no doubts." Something.
Great band.
Yeah, great band. And then like she just continued talking. Like that was clearly a joke, and it's a very broad joke. But like she just continued talking, and I was like, "Am I like?"
No, I just didn't like her delivery because she said, "I liked their last CD," and I was like, "Why did you call it a CD? Isn't it an album?"
Written by like a 45-year-old person.
That was what stuck out to me with that line. I think that for me, this is like a I guess at this point it's WB. So maybe there was originally like a studio audience and then they switched to laugh track only, and like there's a weird switch in there, and that's why we see a difference.
The WWWB.
But I also just think that a lot of these shows, like that TGIF style show, just had shitty laugh tracks. It was set up for like a teenager to watch, and like, I mean, I don't know. So I think that that's just like what I expect from a show like this versus
maybe it's also
I'm judging it.
Maybe it's also timing too, where it's 2003 and maybe that approach worked in 1996, but now it's dying off and they're trying to evolve, but are still attached to the laugh track, and it's a weird in between.
I mean, it would be weird to like start a show even in 7 years, but it would be really weird to be like, we started the show and we have a laugh track like full time, and then like in the last 5 seasons we like just don't have a laugh, like we just got rid of it. It would be a really weird transition. Like in the end you'd be used to it, like changing, but like could you imagine if you watched like season 3 and like halfway in between, like halfway into season 4, they just like weeded out the laugh track all of a sudden.
There's no one laughing at all.
And you're like, I don't laugh at Sabrina anymore, and I don't understand why.
Frasier has a laugh track, right?
I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. But like, I don't notice it in Frasier because Frasier's so good.
Yeah.
There's something about Frasier, and obviously like the show overcomes that handicap that I think it has.
And Frasier's jokes move fast. So there is a way to do fast jokes with laugh track.
Yeah, well, and that's because they don't let the laugh. I don't think they let the laugh track dictate the speed and tempo.
They don't
of
wait.
Their show.
They don't wait for the laugh. The laugh is kind of just like backsplash from the joke.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of these teen shows, well, first off, if you have a teen show that your teen star, which probably wasn't a teen to start with, but is now getting old, like 30 or something weird, it's just weird in general for the audience. And you're losing your audience because they're getting older and they're not, like, I was graduating high school. I wasn't watching this in high school. Like, I definitely didn't watch this
is a show I would be
school.
watching when I was like 12 to 14 and not when I'm like 18 anymore.
So then they're trying to cover marriage with like a 12-year-old. Like, they're not really understanding what that concept.
Well, they're just closing the show and the same way everyone closes their sitcoms.
Gotta have a wedding.
It's in the contract with the studio that it's got to end with a wedding.
Melissa Joan Hart signed that marriage clause in season 1 when she signed on to the show.
But
I would say that this show probably just like the way it's like kind of done it almost feels like if you turned on like a Nickelodeon show now, like a not Hannah Montana's not on anymore, but like, you know, they have those shows on Nickelodeon. It's Nickelodeon, right?
I think that's technically
that or Disney.
Is it Disney? Is that what I mean?
I think
Disney.
it's the same type of show.
But that's what I mean.
There's
Yeah,
something
like
called
that
The
teen-
Descendants. My students have talked about, like my 9th graders that are still watching Disney that are not quite into.
Yeah, whatever is on that like preteen Disney channel with it's like a bunch of high school girls and like. Or
they're
like
all
high
like
school
wizards
boys
and
they're-
witches and stuff.
Yeah, because
that's what we're
magic's in
into.
now. Well, it's spooky month, so everyone's.
Spooky.
But like yeah, that like tempo, it's just very like preteen, and it works really well for that. But not as an adult.
They got to do like a gritty reboot.
Gritty, yeah, like a gritty Sabrina reboot. I wonder what that'd be like.
I don't know. I think that I just have a personal problem with like high school dramas going into college. Like either you need to pull like a Doug and you're always in the same time and you're just like never getting older. You just like don't get to do college years. They're not good.
Well,
have you ever watched a show like even Dawson's Creek? They went to college, not as good.
I don't know. How did it work
I don't
out
know
for-
because I think I went to college, so I didn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it was one of those things. But it makes sense. You're trying to hold on to your audience, and you're like, well, we've done this for 4 years. A better audience is in college or just about to go. So let's go to college now. You know, and then we're like, yeah, but we're in college and we don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Because I could watch it. I could
And
sit at home and watch TV by myself, or I could go hang out with my new friends in college
that are not watching Sabrina.
that are not
the
watching
Teenage Witch.
Sabrina or Dawson's Creek. Exactly.
Yeah, I had friends.
Joe knows every Dawson's Creek episode. That's what that is. Let's get into predictions.
Let's
see
get
how
some
we
points.
did. Did you go first, Claire?
Points. Yeah. So there's a wedding. I get a point.
You really want to get past this?
Get
Yep.
that score.
I'll give
in.
you the point. They hosted a wedding.
That was
But
a full-on wedding.
It was not a full wedding because in a full wedding, people are married at
People
the end.
actually, that's the kind of the most important point of a wedding.
That's like literally the whole point of the wedding.
Yeah.
whatever.
But here, they paid for it, so you can get a point.
Yeah,
Sure.
they bought that stuff. Salem becomes human. Nah.
No.
There weren't any pineapples. Did anyone see it? I was looking.
Nope.
I mean, I wasn't scouring, but I didn't think that this was gonna hide it from me.
And the mom was there and didn't turn into a ball of wax. I get a point.
1 point.
So that's 2 points.
Way to go. Not
I
bad.
know.
That's more than I thought.
Joe had no faith in you.
Yeah.
Never does.
Salem turns into a human. It's false. Zelda's officiating the wedding. Zelda wasn't there.
She was too there.
She's
Oh,
a
She was
candle.
a candle.
She was a candle. There's an Archie reference, which I didn't hear anything. And someone gets turned into a pineapple, which is not. So 0.
It's okay.
That's all right, Joe. I'm fast on your heels with Salem is no longer a cat. It's the only thing he was. Libby knows Sabrina's a witch and they are friends. Libby was dead or gone.
Yeah, definitely not friends anymore.
Sabrina's moving out of her aunt's house. It looks like everybody but Sabrina moved out of the aunt's house. So that wasn't it.
Yeah, she still had her childhood bedroom.
Yeah.
Weird.
And she just lived with 2 random other people that weren't her aunts.
Yeah.
And then Zelda cast a spell to fix a common issue. Zelda was a candle.
I was like mad that you made that prediction.
You were so
Like,
mad.
I was so like,
That's a guaranteed point. That should only be worth one.
don't
half a
ever
point.
listen to me.
It's dumb. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I should have done the
Yeah.
easier one where I think Zelda's a candle.
Zelda and Hilda left at the end of the 6th season.
Is that what? Okay.
6 seasons? They just missed out on 1 season?
Yeah, and you're right that Hilda went off to do her talk show, and Zelda was just like, "I'm done here."
What it's funny is like they did that and they were like, "Yo, Hilda and Zelda, you want to come back?" And Hilda was like, "Yeah, I got a minute. You're gonna pay me a ton of money?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then Zelda was like, "Fuck you, I ain't coming back."
Was Harvey, like, I should have looked up and seen if Harvey was gone.
Harv.
Because I felt like it was weird the way they brought him back in.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I could see him being in 90% of the show at least, though.
Yeah.
So.
That was the motorcycle guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was Harvey. Who's watching this show? Joe.
Nah.
Joe, you watching all of it? Paz and Doug.
He will when I
Yeah.
watch a couple eps. I would watch
Gosh.
until she goes to college. Like, I do some nostalgia times. I'd
Okay.
like look and see if they've got a Halloween episode.
Yeah, I would definitely say the first couple seasons of the show are probably pretty good, and then it definitely probably goes downhill.
Yeah,
a
I'm
little
not
bit.
watching any of the college.
I mean, there's no way Zelda and Hilda being gone is
Yeah.
this a good show.
Yeah, that's got to be rough.
It's got to be bad. I am not turning this show on without someone else doing it for me.
Just wait. I
Are
have
you going to come
control.
over to my apartment and turn this on?
I'm gonna like find a way to stream to your house so you like can't turn it off.
Maybe using witchcraft?
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll train Pete to turn it on.
I mean, train Pete to talk like a human. Maybe if he watches it enough, he'll learn some stuff from Salem.
That Salem. just
Man,
terrible.
He was a pretty solid like puppet like this whole episode. And I was like, he's freaky, but I'm into it. It's like
Maybe I'll just look for Salem clips and only like have you watch those.
the Salem puppet might be the creepiest thing we've seen all month.
He's got like dead eyes.
That's what it is. It's the dead eyes.
Yeah.
Well, they're buttons. Like, what do you want from him? He's a taxidermied cat pretending he can speak English. It's all awful. Well, thank you everybody for listening to this episode. We appreciate you and the spooks that you've all brought to us in our lives.
So spooky.
So spooky. Next week we'll be back with regular programming. Some old boring non-spooky show.
It's gonna be probably spooky.
Tune in or whatever. Who
Yeah,
cares?
fuck. Yeah, do what you want. But if you're bored and you want to rate us a number of stars on some sort of app, that'd be cool. If you want to hit us up at fndlpodcast@gmail or on the Twitters, tell Joe he's cool. Ask for Claire to come back or request a show.
Or tell me I'm terrible and wish Jimmy was here. Whatever works for you.
I'll tweet that out to you
I know that's you.
on the FNL Twitter. I'll be like, oh man, isn't Claire the worst? Glad Jimmy's back soon.
Okay, now I'm kind of feeling sad about it. So don't do that. It is spooky month
Yeah.
though, so I'll just blame a ghost.
Have a good Halloween. Don't eat too much candy.
Yeah, tomorrow is Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to know what people went as at Halloween. Do you guys have Halloween costumes?
Not yet. I can't think of it. It's tough. What are you doing?
Well, the thought was Buster Bluth.
Mm-hmm.
The bananas.
Well,
He
Job's the one that wears the banana costume. Buster joins.
Say the bananas. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I was just thinking about the show, and immediately I was like, the bananas are in the.
Oh, well, there's always money in the banana stand.
That's what I was trying to quote, and I couldn't remember.
So
the laugh track didn't come on.
So we're almost over. So the music's playing right now. The podcast is done, but I'm going to tell a story about that. One time 5-6 years ago, I was trying to set up the internet at one of my apartments, and it was like back when like wireless internet was like hard to deal with, and I had to call someone for the wireless connector because like wasn't working, and I couldn't get it to work.
What are you, my dad? Like,
yeah, I was like 27, like I was like a young person, and I had to. So I had named the wireless network Banana Stand from Arrested Development, and then I wanted to name. So then the person's like, "Cool, that's got your network. We're all set up. So what's your password?" And I was like, "There's always money." Like, and they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "There's always money in the banana stand. I want the password to be there's always money."
I like how this person is asking for your password.
Well, because they're setting it up for me.
Doesn't seem real.
Yeah, but I'm like on the phone with someone trying to tell them that, like, it's my clever thing is banana stand, and then the thing there's always money in.
Did they laugh, or were they just like, "Gosh, another guy trying to be banana stand"?
They were like, "Okay."
I feel like there was one time where I had a like internet guy set up my router, and like I can't remember what it was, but like he was like, "Oh, I can't do that." Like it had to be something like mildly crude, where he was like, "Oh, I can't do that as your network name." But I can't think of
body massage or something.
That's what I'm thinking is like it couldn't have been a full on swear, because I feel like I wouldn't have done that as my like network thing, because like
it was
my parents are initially gonna come over,
butt,
right?
Like DICKNBUTT, dick and butt.
Joe doesn't like sex. He would not have picked that.
He doesn't like sex on his shows, but he loves it in his internet.
I can't think of what it would have been that like it would have been my
former
network,
roommates of Joe. Please let us know.
Yeah, I don't know
what his potentially crude login was gonna be.
Wait, so like the internet guy was like, "No, I'm not doing that."
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, I can't do that." And I
was
like,
it for your?
He could make it like XQZ127P3, like, because that's what they always seem to make them.
Yeah,
but he couldn't.
Why'd
make
you
it
tell
like,
everybody my internet password?
Sorry, guys. No, I actually did tell you your password that one time.
Oh God, yeah. I'm sure I changed it. I'm sure it got changed.
Did you figure it out yet?
No.
Oh.
That wasn't figuring it out. I can't remember what it is.
You were gonna figure it out.
I don't know. I'm a wholesome person. I can't remember what crude thing it would have been.
I'm a wholesome person.
Did you like blush when he said that and like just be like, cats are great?
No, I think I was like, come on, man. Like, it's not that bad. You can do it.
And he was like, no.
And he's like, no, I can't. I really can't. And I was like,
and you're like,
fine.
What
was
is
it?
Like,
God is not dead too.
Should we watch the God is not dead 2 trailer? We should, right?
I mean, why not? We're here.
Zombie God.
All right, we're gonna leave.
we're gonna leave.
I forgot we're still podcasting. Bye.